provincial bill to oust city councillors guilty of serious misconduct arrived in Ottawa today. The public consultations hold particular significance in this city. The proposed legislation was partly inspired by complaints of sexual harassment against former councillor Rick Chiarelli. Aya Dufour reports.
After years of advocacy and private members' bills, the provincial government is proposing new legislation that would let local governments remove city councillors found guilty of serious misconduct from office. But for many Ottawa residents speaking before the provincial committee today, the mechanism being proposed is unattainable. The specter of Rick Chiarelli casts a long shadow over this conversation. In the early 2020s, 3 internal investigations found the former Ottawa councillor sexually harassed at least 6 women over a number of years, requesting staff work without bras and going to strip clubs. Chiarelli resisted calls to resign. His pay was suspended, but he held on to his seat until the end of his term. The question hanging over the hearing today is, could Chiarelli have been ousted had Bill 9 been in place then? This former staffer isn't sure because the legislation requires that councillors unanimously vote for removal.
That makes it practically impossible to actually have a member of council forced to vacate their seat for misconduct.
She worries other victims won't want to come forward knowing the threshold is that high.
There are some really great things in the bill, but that aspect of it will be absolutely devastating for future victims of harassment.
This former Ottawa councillor turned MPP says the decision to remove a councillor should be up to the courts.
The person has a chance to defend themselves in front of a judge, and then ultimately a judge would make the final decision.
But at an earlier hearing, the province insisted municipal councils should make the call.
When a vote comes, the ultimate arbitrators of a politician's fate, ultimately, like all of us, are the voters. And so to remove somebody without unanimous consent or a vote, I think, flies in the face of what the voters did to elect people.
Public hearings on this bill are set to continue throughout the month of July, and the Ford government hopes to pass this bill into law later this fall. Aya Dufour, CBC News, Ottawa.
Staffers of Rick Chiarelli are once again sharing their stories. They come as the provincial government looks to create new rules that would make it easier to fire any councillor who violates the code of conduct. Now, even after Ottawa's Integrity Commissioner found Chiarelli harassed and bullied female staff, he remained on council, sparking calls from across the province for change. CTV's Natalie Van Roy has more.
This is not a partisan issue. It's a workplace issue and a human rights issue.
Nancy Cairns worked in former councillor Rick Chiarelli's office in 2013 to 2017 when she says she endured harassment and bullying.
I've lived through what happens when a councillor engages in harmful, predatory behavior and nothing is done to stop it.
She's one of the former staffers of Rick Chiarelli sharing their experiences as the province holds hearings on proposed legislation aimed at making it easier to fire councillors in serious violation of the municipal code of conduct.
I don't want anyone else to go through what I went through. I think that I'm really glad that we finally have a bill in front of us.
If passed, Bill 9 would allow municipalities to remove a councillor after a recommendation by the Municipal Integrity Commissioner, approval from the Integrity Commissioner of Ontario, and a unanimous vote by council. But there are concerns the bar is too high. Former Ottawa councillor and now MPP Catherine McKenney says getting a unanimous vote may be a challenge.
We cannot expect survivors to come forward if in fact, everything that they come with will hinge on whether one person can go to the washroom and not be there for the votes.
For years, the province has faced calls to address the issue after Ottawa's Integrity Commissioner found Chiarelli harassed and bullied female staff. The allegations dating back to 2013. He rejected calls to resign and council could only dock his pay.
I support the proposed legislation. It is high time to ensure that there is a level of accountability in place that can and will address the most egregious cases of behavior that breach codes of conduct, that in the majority of workplaces would be dealt with swiftly and appropriately.
Chiarelli's former staffers hoping their voices are heard at Queen's Park.
I'm really hopeful that this is actually going to be feedback that they'll listen to.
Natalie Van Roy, CTV News.